Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Time Out with Sports Adda. Morning, Arun. How are you feeling today? How's the feeling after two back-to-back games last night?
Hi, good morning. Yeah, one-sided games, weren't they? I was looking forward to those matches. Some good performances, yes, but more to talk about in terms of what teams didn't do, should have done, what they did wrong, than good performances. So I liked a few bits, but you could dissect a lot, many more things, and say they should have done this right, wrong. Yeah.
Hmm. We were actually yesterday. We pointed out that Rajasthan was one team who had run Mumbai close in the last 3-4
Mm,
seasons, but
mm,
they just seem to be disintegrating a little bit, not being able to match up. I mean, when
mm,
they started off yesterday, I thought they might get a decent score, but they
mm.
just didn't have the bowling to knock Mumbai off the pedestal. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
very simple victory. Quinton de Kock coming back to form must be like real golden news for Mumbai, isn't it?
Absolutely. So just recapping the game, Rajasthan 171 for 4. This is after the openers added, what was it, 66
Over
and
50,
8 overs.
yeah.
66 and 8 overs. So they added nearly 105 in the remaining 12. So not great going there. And that also, I don't know. That also happened because Sanju Samson played another one of those breezy innings.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, Mumbai ran, basically just sprinted through the game in their chase because Quinton de Kock started well. And, Karen Pollard and Krunal Pandya then contributed at the back second half of the chase. So like we'd spoken about this yesterday, or we'd lined it up, Akhil, about
Hmm.
where are Rajasthan getting their wickets from.
Hmm.
There's just no answer to that. They don't seem to
Yeah.
have enough
Yeah.
firepower to get those wickets.
Yeah, very true. And I mean, before I talk about the Mumbai batting, I wanted to bring a point saying that sometimes scorecards don't show you the value of a player. Yesterday,
Hmm.
Jasprit Bumrah has got one for
Oh,
15.
phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I keep looking at that guy, and uh, he- the thing is, he enjoys doing what he does, right? He comes on to bowl the 19th or the 20th over, the 16th or the 17th over, and he relishes that. You can actually see it on his face that he's looking forward to that challenge. That's what I loved about his performance yesterday. Yeah, when in an innings of 171, which is 8.5 runs per over, uh, Bumrah going for 15 runs in 4 overs is, this is man is superhuman.
Yeah, that is the contest when I look at a Indian T20 league, and when somebody challenges Mumbai for the title in a knockout match, not even the
Hmm,
qualifier or playoffs. I'm saying for the knockout match, uh,
hmm,
the batsman who would be capable of taking on Bumrah, because those 16, 18, 20 or 19, 17, 15 overs that he bowls,
yeah.
those are virtually unplayable. And the other end, there is Trent Bolt, who's also nailing his Yorkers now.
Oh yeah.
So the only person I see capable of doing that is AB de Villiers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Maxwell and AB de Villiers going against Bumrah and Bolt in the death overs during a chase. That's the one dream battle I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and that could happen. That could happen. Don't worry. There's a good chance that'll happen. But
Yeah.
yeah, I also appreciate Mumbai for their selections. How often have you seen somebody like a Ishan Kishan, although he's been struggling for form, being dropped, and Nathan Kultalain, a specialist fast bowler, being brought in?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a very unusual selection. So hats off to Mumbai for that, and to send Krunal Pandya, who's basically your number 6 or number 7, to bat at number 4. Again, that was a master stroke, I thought, by the Mumbai management. Good decision, and they're reaping the rewards of it.
They're reaping the rewards, absolutely spot on. I will come to the point where you said playing an extra bowler, the second bit, but it was so interesting. Krunal came in at number four, he delivered his role. And then when
Hmm.
Pollard came into bat, you
Hmm.
remember he hit 1-6 and 1-4. And at that time,
Yeah.
the runs to be got were a little higher than the balls. And
Hmm.
just two hits, he changed the equation. He got lucky with that hit on the helmet, if you remember. So, yeah.
Jao, keep going. Yeah.
So that people are sticking to their roles. They're doing their roles really well, and
Yeah.
that's what Rohit Sharma will be very happy about yesterday.
Yeah.
So Mumbai getting back to where they were, where they belong at the top of the table, not the exact top of the table, but the top half
Top
of the
half.
table.
They're in the top half. Yeah, they're at number 4 right now. But that's what you want Mumbai. I mean, that's what you expect from Mumbai. Them to
Hmm.
compete, them to win, and them to be there or thereabouts. I've always maintained that Mumbai are several notches above the rest of the pack, and perhaps now is the time where they're trying to make a move on.
Yeah, and like the decision that you mentioned about playing Nathan Coulter-Line over a successful batsman like Ishan Kishan,
Hmm,
these are the sort of decisions around that winning teams or teams which look after the winning performances. That's how they look at. They lost the last match, so they were
hmm,
already under. It's not like the batting was firing. Still
hmm,
to get like lose one batsman and get one attacking bowler who's not played a
hmm,
game for many months now. These are
hmm,
the kind of moves that winning teams think about, and that is one grouse that I have against the next team, the next match that I'm going to talk about, Delhi,
hmm,
who won yesterday.
hmm,
But they are still with a Rabada struggling and Norke not playing. That
hmm.
is an option that winning teams look at, and that's why Mumbai are winning the title 5 times. They've won the title 5 times. Like if
I-
you
I'll also
be,
quickly I'll also
yeah.
quickly add, Akhil. I don't think, having seen how Mumbai operate, I don't think Ishan Kishan is complaining. I don't think he's feeling insecure that am I going to play the rest of the season or not. That's how they treat their players. That's
True.
how the team is kind of managed, handled. Everybody knows what's happening within the team. There's transparency. There's clarity of in terms of process and what everybody's thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how maybe champion teams are operating. And we had one more game yesterday, which Delhi also won very comfortably,
Yeah.
without any hiccups. We were expecting a lot more fight from the Kolkata, but again, a team which is really, really struggling. Look at the scorecard. I mean, without that 27 ball 45 from Andre Russell,
Yeah.
they were between 110, 120 maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they were 125 maybe, but yeah, disappointing game again for Kolkata. I mean, it- I don't know. I mean, they lost the game in the first over of the chase itself. I mean,
Hmm.
let me put it that way. There's no two ways to look at it. You score 154 runs on the board. You're defending. I mean, on a very good batting track, and then you come and give the ball to Shivam Mavi, who did well in the previous game, but the need of the hour was, to have the opposition at, let's say, 30 for 4.
Hmm.
That's the only way you were winning a game. What happened was you ended up giving 25 in the first over. I mean, poor Shivam Mavi is one of the likable boys going around the circuit, but Prithvi Shaw, give him width, he'll punish you. Now everybody's talking about an in swinger. He's suspect against the in swinger incoming delivery, but I don't think, honestly, I mean, no disrespect to Shivam Mavi, but I don't think. Look, there's age group and they've been teammates. They know
Hmm.
each other so well. Why didn't they give the ball to even a Andre Russell or a Pat Cummins would have been my first choice, but why not even a Russell? I mean, like, you've got to think out of the bag. What were they thinking? I mean, I'm just losing it here. Owen Morgan is being raved around as one of the best white ball captains. Come on,
Hmm.
did we see that yesterday? Answer is no. Absolute no. Resounding no. Yesterday was a really, really bad game for Ron Morgan as captain.
Yeah, I would totally agree. And I'm saying Pat Cummins is, anyways, everybody knows about Pat Cummins, and Andre Russell is capable of bowling that fast one. But I'm saying even Prasidh Krishna is bowling at least 5 to 7 kilometers faster than a Shivam Mavi. He's
Hmm.
just won his India cap where he actually rattled the English batters with the
Batsman.
pace that he showed. And if you
Hmm.
have him handy, anyways, if you're going to lose the match, you might lose it in 14 overs like they lost yesterday. Might as well give your Prasidh Krishnas and the Pat Cummins a chance to just go full throttle at Prithvi Shaw. And you know that he's vulnerable against the incoming ones. You know he's vulnerable against the short one. There was not one short ball also attempted by any of the pacers to him yesterday. In fact, if
Hmm.
you listen to the post match, Harsha asked him, saying
Hmm.
that did you think that after the first 3 or 4 balls they'll bowl short to you? So he said,
Hmm.
yeah, I was ready for that, but
Hmm.
I mean, I can understand your frustration and the Kolkata fans also will be very disappointed.
And disappointed is one thing, but look, here's the problem. You cannot go on matchups alone. I understand where they were coming from, right? Shivam Mavi gets the ball to move around. He swung the ball yesterday, but that's about it. I know you've got you. That's his best time to bowl, but you
Mm.
also got to look at the match situation, right? You needed wickets early on, and when did they get their first wicket? I mean, just looking at the scorecard, Delhi got their first wicket at 13.5. By which time, sorry, Kolkata got their first wicket at 13.5. By which time Delhi were 132 runs on the board, needing another 20 odd runs to win. So the match was just gone after that
And
first
Rishabh
over.
had admitted, Rishabh admitted in the post match saying that we are going for higher net run rate. We want to finish the
Hmm.
match early.
Hmm.
And so Delhi are already thinking that way, they're thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Kolkata not giving their prime bowler, the costliest bowler in their team, the first over to try and go after the batsman. That just
Hmm.
shows the mentality of the two teams. I think it will be a very difficult one for Kolkata now to bounce back. I think they will already start making plans and start working on the next auction, the big auction now.
For me, just one last point before we move on. Reading through Owen Morgan's quote, Shakil, he says Shaw played brilliantly. Nothing much we could do. I mean, come on. Talking about Cummins, he says he's part of our new ball plans. Mavi bowled four on the trot the last game and bowled well, just didn't go to plan today. Uh, Come on, guys. I mean, these are international cricketers. You rave about him as one of the best white ball captains. Absolutely unacceptable. Let's move
And
on.
if you look at it, the Pat Cummins did pick up 3 for 24 yesterday.
Correct.
So if
Correct.
he had the opportunity to go with a new ball with one slip in hand, you never know what could have happened. But
Yeah.
I mean, there more we can keep talking about Kolkata and what happens this season, but we have to move on. There's another game today, and
Hmm.
it's something which I every time look after because KL Rahul has always idolized one person, and that is the Indian captain, right?
I mean, I know where you're getting to, but did you mention it was a Bangalore versus Bangalore A team ka game today? Or you didn't?
Bangalore A, and the coach is also somebody who can like qualify as a Bangalore A. So it's
Yeah.
Bangalore versus
So
Bangalore A. Yeah.
yeah, it's Bangalore v Punjab or Bangalore v Bangalore A. But yeah, I mean Virat Kohli idolizes. Sorry, KL Rahul idolizes Virat Kohli. Not the other way. KL Rahul idolizes Virat Kohli, and you can see that at least back in the days, last 3-4 years, I've seen that happen. KL's now come into his own. He's trying to
Hmm.
create a niche for himself, and they will. I mean, he will want to do well. KL Rahul will want to do well in this game.
And he's
He's
done
he's he's
well.
had two good. Yeah, he's had two good scores last year, didn't he?
It's amazing. I mean, look at 7 sixes in 132 not out. I
Mm,
mean, he really, I think, 5 sixes in the next game. So he was definitely cracking a lot of sixes last
mm,
season. He'll be
mm,
hoping to like get one aggressive knock against again Bangalore and
mm,
get their campaign on track because we've seen when Rahul is not scoring runs, Punjab are not been able to score the runs required for their bowling attack. So
mm.
he's such a core component, and I mean, yeah, he'll want to do well. If you remember, I mean, there was a banter that happened in between these two teams about use of a similar jersey, etc., etc. But if I'm a management person in the Bangalore team,
Mm,
not retaining KL Rahul will be one of my biggest regrets. And they will never admit it openly. But
mm,
when they let go of KL Rahul in the auction, I was
mm,
surprised. I mean, he's a talented guy, he's a local boy, and I
mm,
just hope they don't make that same mistake with the Padikkal whenever they get the
mm,
opportunity.
mm,
So
mm.
yeah, Rahul is the core. Any other interesting stats that you have lined up?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, just sticking with KL Rahul for a second. Uh, him and Mayank, two Bangalore boys against. They need to perform tonight, and I say this particularly because I think Bangalore have the bowling order of bowling lineup of the competition, like
Hmm.
functional order of the competition. Like there's Siraj who's done well, there's Jamieson who presents a challenge,
Hmm.
right?
Uzi.
Daniel Sams can do something if he plays, and there's Chahal who's not been at the top of his game, but you can never write him out. And there's Harshil Patel. Now, I think this is the one functional bowling attack we've seen right through the competition, and both KL and Mayank need to score runs against this.
Do you see David Malan coming in today?
Nah, not against Bangalore. I think Gale would want to play against Bangalore. I think there's an old score of sorts, so I think Gale will play. But you never know with these selections, Akhil. I mean, it can go either way. People just wake up one day and say, okay, maybe time to rest Gale for a couple of matches, and you never know.
Absolutely. And what about the Superman at number 5? He'll be raring to go as usual.
Yeah, I mean, before we speak about AB de Villiers, I know where you're getting to. I have one other stat to dish out at you. As good as Bangalore is, they've got one weakness in their lineup, which is their number 3, right?
Mm.
I don't know where they're getting at. I mean, if you look at what they've done with their number 3, they've used Rajat Patidar, they've got
Mm.
Shabaz Ahmad, they went Rajat Patidar again, they went Washington Sundar, and then they went. So I understand. I understand that they're trying to plug the void, but again, I'm an old timer, and given it's only a 120 ball format, shouldn't you have one of your top batsmen batting at number 3?
Yeah, absolutely. But they don't seem to have one more Indian batsman to plug in that hole. That's the auction strategy that they looked at. I would still say why not Virat at 3 and just let one more guy try and go and smash it at the top. It's not like Virat right now has been able to ramp up the run rate, and him losing his wicket early is not a good sign always. So maybe let Padikal and one more person like a Patidar open and just go hell for it for the first 3-4 overs. If they get out, they get out. We still have a Kohli, Maxwell, De Villiers to follow. So yeah, I know where you're coming. So I agree with that.
Virat Kohli keeping an eye on the World Cup. 2020 World Cup has to open. Well, that's not happening. Virat's got to open.
Well, if you have AB de Villiers coming below down the order, do you even have to worry?
Yeah, I mean, I completely. I mean, like, look at AB de Villiers, man. I mean, this guy. I'm just going to read out some numbers from the last 3 seasons, right? Look at his strike rate, Akhil. 2019, his strike rate in all T20s was 157. 2020, it was 154. And 2021, it's 174. Basically, what I'm coming at is, these are numbers since he played his last international. Where I'm coming at is, this guy plays 40, 20, and whatever, 20 T20 matches a year. He's still able to perform and score the runs. I mean, Superman is what you called him, right?
Yeah, I called him Superman, and he's just outstanding individual. Whatever he does, I just hope he continues to bat on for many years because we just love watching him bat. There are very few sides. If I had to ever pick a top T20 team ever, I think AB de Villiers would be my number one pick. So that's how high I rate him, and look forward to watching him bat.
Yeah, there was a time when Chris Gayle was number 1, but Chris Gayle has slipped and AB de Villiers has just gone up there and he's held his position there, Like we saw with those numbers, we spoke over those numbers. Year on, he's still the same, getting better maybe. So yeah, AB de Villiers, if you want to pay money, if you want entertainment, he's the guy.
Okay, fantastic. So who you picking today, Bangalore or Punjab?
I would have rephrased that question to be safer. Which color jersey are you supporting? And I would have said red. One of the reds.
Well, I'm going for Punjab today. I think there might be an upset, and I
Ooh.
hope Mayank scores some runs so that the upset and he becomes like the top scorer. So I'm going for Punjab today. Let's see if they win.
I want Bangalore, but let's see what happens.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for your time, and see you again tomorrow.
Cheers, Akhil.
Bye bye.